The O Cannabis Conference and Expo returns to Toronto June 1st through the 3rd, and there's still some good booth locations available. This exciting event is free for cannabis retailers and will feature Tommy Chong receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the O Cannabis Industry Awards. For more information about exhibiting or to register to attend, go to ocannabis.com. That's OCANNABIZ.com. Welcome back to The Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today we're going to take a look at South Dakota, a judge there turning down the people's vote. They voted on adult use, and one person was like, nah, you're not going to get it. Help us kind of dive into this is Katrina Gogowski, angel investor and attorney. Katrina, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks, Josh.
So MJ Business Daily is talking about this judge shooting down South Dakota's adult use cannabis market. This is a first of its kind, is it not? I think we had a medical situation with Montana reversing their medical, but I think this might be the first time an adult use is turned down.
This is surprising to me on one level, that the will of the voters should speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's not surprising from a legal perspective. Because the issue presented to this judge was one ballot measure with two different components, and technically that's not allowed. So hopefully this is just a technical hiccup and not a political hiccup.
That's interesting. I didn't realize there was a technicality. I just thought it was a jerk of a judge deciding that their influence is more important than the people of South Dakota, because they approved it with a 54.2% favor to legalize medical marijuana and adult use. But
and Josh, that's the problem. There were two different measures in one bill. Here in sunny Washington, we run into this a lot. Because we have citizen initiatives, and if they're not authored correctly, they run into problems. The stereotypical $30 car tabs here in Washington get struck down a lot because of these technicalities. But hopefully they sort of come to their senses and don't make voters re-vote for this.
Right. So like you mentioned, you can't submit multiple bills. So it's the only state to do that. And it's probably, there's a reason, because it doesn't work. So essentially they submitted two bills simultaneously, being the first state to do that. But people who didn't want, anti-marijuana advocates who didn't want cannabis there, they're citing that that violated South Dakota's law that requires amendments seeking to change the state's constitution to focus only on one subject. And it also prohibits a broad change to state government, which would probably be the same thing, right?
Right. So this is a technicality, and unfortunately, the result might be a revote, but got to make sure you author the bill correctly. Unfortunately, these technicalities do come up, but hopefully, the parties come to their senses. This is the will of the voters, or alternatively, they'll just put it back on the ballot next year.
Yeah, hopefully they'll at least be able to get, it looks like medical marijuana was supposed to take effect July 1st. Hopefully there's some advocates out there that are just like, we're going to do what we want. I'm not saying that you should, because you can't listen to me. I don't give advice. But hopefully somebody out there will be doing what's right and not what's legal. At this point, it's pretty crazy. So, all right, I think that's about it. We're going to stay abreast on what's happening in South Dakota, as well as any other markets that might be popping off, included Virginia. You're just going to have to come back to the Talking Hedge and find out. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I want to thank my guest, Katrina Gogowski, angel investor and attorney. Thanks for being back on the podcast.
Thanks, Josh.
I am Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.
Hi, y'all. I'm Jo, host of Casually Baked, the podcast. If you're curious to explore the highly responsible side of cannabis, farming, and legalization, I'm here to help lighten the stigma and build your canna confidence. Download episodes now of Casually Baked the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And journey with me through the evolving cannabis culture and discover how and why people like you are adding cannabis to their wellness toolkit. It's time to get casually baked.